The point is to have exclusivity of the new stuff that comes out, but it doesn't, of course, take care of, well, what's happening with all the back catalogue. And as a lot of us know, the back catalogue is where a lot of the money is in the long term, because every new book is only new for a very short period of time. And then it moves into back catalogue, and that's got a really long running tail to it. And actually, I think indies do much better with their back catalogues because they don't just focus on that launch. They don't go, it's the make or break for 3 months and then that's it. Like, well, no, that's your launch bit. And then after that, it's got a long life. It's got a long life after you're dead. So, never mind the bit where you're still alive and can look after it and make it interesting.
That would be a really interesting thing to see studies on, of how much money the backlist of a traditionally published author makes, maybe in comparison to an author who is in the indie ranks. But I would bet exactly what you're saying. Like when I describe the 4 C's of indie publishing, they are creativity, control, care, and cash. And the care is care of the backlist, because I feel intuitively that that is true, a benefit that indie authors have over traditionally published authors. But I don't know that I've ever seen any data about that.
No, that's an interesting one to think about. And I love the idea of back catalogs, and also what happens after you're dead. I mean, we asked a whole load of it. It was part of our indie author income survey, and it was only a quarter of them had a will which mentioned their literary estate in any way, shape, or form. And you think that's 70 years of sales if someone were looking after it. And I like to do talk about this sort of thing. And Georgette Heyer, so big romance Regency author, dead now for 50 years, still got 20 years left to run. And if you go and watch how her back catalogue is being looked after, it's really clever. You see how the covers are being changed regularly, how the quotes on the front, the kind of testimonials, if you like, reviews, they change up who's saying them so that it's somebody new and relevant, and it's not someone you've never heard of who apparently was a big deal back when it was published. Every time Bridgerton comes out, a new series comes out, whoa, the sales spike like that. For the whole of the historical category, Lord knows what they're like for Georgette Heyer. They must really spike. And you think someone is doing a very good job of looking after that back catalogue, which you could have just let sink. You could have just gone, well, whatever. But no, there's a lot of books there, and someone's doing a really good job looking after them. And I think all indie authors should have a little bit of a think about what's going to happen later on in life, and what's going to happen when they die, and what will happen to their literary estate. And go have a look at Georgette Heyer. Go see how well you can look after a series and what kind of money that might make for your estate. I think
it was a conversation that I either had with Orna or Michael Laron about this very thing. And I was saying, it seems as if there's maybe a newish profession within the indie author sphere of people whose entire job is to take care of your books, either after you've died, or maybe even just after you've stopped wanting to muck around in it and you want somebody else to take care of it, kind of like an agent. I actually just talked to David Morris, who is an agent, but he's I think, a very forward-thinking agent who is welcoming of what the indie publishing industry brings. And I think that he's doing somewhat different things for his clients, depending on what their publishing approach is, obviously. But that there is the specialty of taking care of books after the author is either not there anymore to do it themselves, or just not interested in doing it themselves anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I think there's a lot of scope for that. And I don't think it's quite taken off yet. But like you say, it should do, really. We have 2 books for our members, which are all about, how to write that literary estate, and a sort of handbook for your heirs to go, here, this is what you do when someone left you a pile of books and you're supposed to take care of them. But I think that's definitely a publishing service that could develop, because when you get older and you sort of semi-retire, but, write yourself a kind of process Bible that says, this is how often you should update the covers. This is the target audience.